So you're a coach, you've got some tools. They're probably great tools, depending on what area you work in, business, personal health, wellness, sport, etc. You probably have some really great templates, some really great tools that if people would just do them, they'd all get results. So why doesn't everybody get results? Fascinating question. See, the junior coach, the less developed coach, the coach who doesn't really know what's going on in the coaching process assumes there's something wrong with the client. They say the client's bad, the client's unresponsive, the client can't do it. Or worse, they go, oh, there's something wrong with me. I'm a bad coach. I'm a bad person. I'm not good enough. By the way, this is very common in both the coach and the client. Neither are true, okay? Every single coaching tool on the planet works. This is something you need to get. Doesn't matter what you're trained in, one isn't better than the other. They all work. They require desire in the client and willingness to do what it takes. Most coaches don't hold this tightly. They don't require burning desire, and they certainly don't require willingness to do what it takes. They let their clients off the hook, and in the process, they do them a disservice. So how do you make your coaching tools work better? First of all, ensure you've got the right client. But let's assume they've passed your desire, they've passed your willingness, and they're in the room with you. Well, how do you make the tools work better for you? Doesn't matter what tools you use, you need to make them work better for you. And the key is loosening their model of reality. Remember, we talked about models of reality as the way in which the person constructs reality in their mind, pulling from the millions, billions, trillions of bits of information available into the hundreds of bits per second that make up their mind body. So how do you make it so that they're more likely to be successful? Well, when a client comes to you, right, they come to you, let's say this is their problem. They go, this is my problem. And they're super attached to the way it is because that's the way it is. So they're attached. So before you do any change work, what you want to do is loosen their grip. Just poke holes in their grip of reality, of the way they have the world, the way it is, because you understand that 126 bits, like hundreds out of millions, billions, trillions, is nothing. It's basically nothing. It's like a fraction of nothing. Okay, so the problem isn't your client. The problem isn't the world. The problem is the way the clients filtered the world. So you've got to loosen their grip on the problem, and you do that primarily by poking logical holes in the way in which they communicate their problem. So the foundational work that neurolinguistic programming provides in the mechanistic viewing of the mind. So we're looking at the mind mechanistically, right? We look at language. So it's neurolinguistic programming. Language is the L in NLP. We look at language as the secret to unlocking someone's model of the world, because the way in which people language and describe their world excuse me, is the way in which they process it in their mind. So if you know what you're listening for, then you can determine how they've got the world. And then you can poke a few holes in their sentences and ask the exact right question at the exact right time that causes the whole thing to loosen up. And if you're successful, and when you're successful in doing this, right, we have language tools all over the place. They themselves might make a change, true. But generally what they do is they loosen the client's grip so that the client can easily change the problem.